broadcast a half an hour early because I still have a lot of things I need to do to get ready for Christmas. Some stocking stuffer stuff and some food I have to pick up, and I still got to drop some packages off. So I really want to get this stream going a little bit early. So if you are new, my name is Josh. I wanted to wish you all a Merry Christmas. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm the co-founder of List Easier, which is an artificial intelligence listing software that helps sellers list thousands of items in a very short period of time and really accelerate their businesses. And we are building our own $100 million, that's $100 million worth of listed product over the next 9 years. So we're aggressively going after that goal with our dog fooding at scale business, or our it's an e-commerce resale business. So, and we're going to document it live so that everybody can see it. It is Christmas Eve. If you are joining me today, welcome. If you are doing the things that you need to do to get ready for Christmas and everything else, I fully understand, but I did make a commitment that if people had questions about List Easier, if they had any questions about eBay or whatever the case may be, that I would be here, because there are people that need this window to get work done, which I understand. So I'm going to be here until about 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I thought we'd just hang out. It's going to be a chill one. I'll probably just mostly read the comments. I don't really have anything, blockbuster or whatever to really say. Just that, it's holidays. We're all getting ready, getting the last minute things done. And I am no exclusion to that. So it's very busy trying to get all the things done that I need to get done. I woke up this morning and I was like, oh, the house is a disaster. Like, I literally just mopped the floor yesterday and the house is trashed because you have young kids, they're like running through with their shoes on and they're getting into everything that they're not supposed to. And, it just, the house gets upside down. It's busy with wrapping and all this other stuff. So it's chaos and I need a few hours today to catch up, as everybody does. It's the holidays. It's the time to spend with your family and focus on family instead of business. But we will hit the ground running hard again, of course, all of us, after the holidays. So Merry Christmas. If you don't celebrate Christmas, enjoy the day off. Enjoy the freebie. Lag says happy holidays. Happy holidays to you, Lag. Eric Gunter, howdy, howdy. Good to see you, Eric. Welcome. Pitco, Merry Christmas, my man, in the UK. How's business going? Are you all ready for Christmas? You're even closer to Christmas than what we are. You're probably around 5:30. Are you about 5:30 there? 4:30, 5:30 in the afternoon? Lucky Finds, Merry Christmas to everyone. Merry Christmas to you, Lucky Finds. Eric Gunter says, did some last minute gift shopping this morning, hit the easy button and bought gift cards. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I think mostly everything is purchased. It is just like some stocking stuffer stuff. And also I like to go to the bakery the day before and get some fresh treats. Like we always have these almond rings. It's a very Dutch thing. Not a lot of people ever have this for Christmas, but it's a Christmas tradition where you get this almond ring. It's like a baked ring. And then inside it, there's this almond filling and it is delicious. It's so good. But those, you got to have those kind of sweets in the house, and the Empire cookies and the shortbread and all those other things. So I like to do that on the day before so that everything is fresh. I have it in the house. Lag says, I'm artificially intelligent also. Me too, Lag. Pico says, when's the List Easier UK edition coming? It's being tested, Pico, Keith, right now. So this is Keith for everyone. It's being tested right now. James, a lot of credit goes out to James. Like, my hat is off to James. He probably sent 300 messages back and forth with the tech team because he was beta testing the rollout of Flex along with a lot of the other features. And, he had questions like, why does it do this? Why is it that? And they were kind of going back and forth with it all. So James, I know James has like a listing goal that he wants to reach of 100,000 listings by the end of the year. So he was really pushing that. And now towards the end of the year, now that he's tight on time, we kind of dump Flex on him. And he's kind of switch gears, and he's using Flex and figuring it out, and then also testing it for bugs so that everyone else can get it. So at this point, Keith, since Flex rolls out with, so quiet here today. When Flex rolls out, it rolls out with UK, Australia auctions feature, the improved accuracy, right? The accuracy goes up 0.1. Doesn't sound like a lot, but for some categories, it will be significant. It will help a lot. So that all goes out at once, and we are just having James kind of flush out any issues that there may be. So we don't want to send it out and then run into the situation where everybody finds all these bugs, or they see things they don't like. And these are what are called edge case bugs. So core function of Flex is incredible, but there are edge cases. So things that if you repeat it 100 times, you still might not find it. Or if you're on the development side of things, because you've developed it, you might not see it. You need a fresh set of eyes to see the usability, or if there's anything missing. So, you don't want to send that out and then everybody's experiencing that. That would be really bad for us, and it would be bad for our customers. So it's coming soon, Keith. We're almost there. In the upside down, says Lag. In the upside down. Kevin Hawthorne, Merry Christmas to you. Kevin in Lakeland, Florida. Lakeland's hardest working employee. Joe says, howdy, Josh. Joe, good to see you. I better turn that TV off. Somehow something got casted to this TV, and I probably don't even know how to turn it off. There we go. Oh no. What am I doing here? Oh, here. Sorry, everybody. There's a TV in front of me, and something got casted to it, and I don't want to get a copyright strike. We'll see what happens there. Business is good. No complaints so far. As ready as I'm going to be. It is 4:36 p.m. there. That's excellent. Turn it off. Dave, if you're watching me right now, the TV keeps turning on and casting stuff. Meleklikimaka, Primo. To you as well. Have a great holiday. I hope you guys are relaxing and enjoying your time off and having some spiced glühwein. I was going to have some spiced glühwein here. I thought it would be really nice to have a glass of glühwein, but I went to go buy it, and then I remembered that you have to, de-alcoholized, of course, but I remembered that you have to heat it up, and this was a whole big process. We're not really set up for that, so instead I have a Christmas Tim Hortons coffee. That's what it was, Den Decor. Thank you. Den Decor Depot says, good day and Merry Christmas. Driving through Mount Chunk, a.k.a. Jim Thorpe today. That's what it was called. Thank you. I was stumped. I always think of it as Mount Chunk because Mount Chunk was this, it's a weird name for a town in the United States. But I think it was originally a coal town, and they had this elevated railway, and I don't know if it's still there or not because I've never been there, that went up the mountain, and it was such a tourist attraction back in the day. So I've seen hundreds of photos of Mount Chunk from the 1870s to the early 1900s, and then they changed it to Jim Thorpe. But that's what it was, and I'd forgotten. Thank you. Ship 15 this morning as well. That's awesome. I have, I think, 27 to go out. I have 6 more to ship, but I had to come back here to pick up my bubble wrap. Lag is the edge case. We're all edge cases, Lag. Keith says, Josh, did you hear the song I did on John's Live? No, I didn't. Did you sing a song on John's Live? Did you sing a song? I didn't see it. Merry Christmas, Tammy, to you as well. You were mentioned in it. I'll check it out, Pico. Yesterday was a crazy day for me. So we recorded here. So in the morning I shipped. We recorded here, and then I had to go maybe like an hour and a half away for some business. And traffic is so busy because of Christmas time. It took me like 3 hours to get there and 3 hours to get back. So I got home at 7:30, 8 o'clock. So I didn't catch anybody's lives or anything. And then I had to work right away because I have a lot that has to go out this morning. And I was like, there's no way I can get it all done. So I had to work. I had a lot of customer support, customer service to do. I had some other emails and information that was requested, I had to get out. So by the time I went to bed, it was almost midnight. And that, if anyone knows me, that is not my style. I am not a midnight guy. I want to go to bed at like 8:30. So, and then I got up early this morning. I've been kind of rushing through stuff, getting things ready, picking things up. I got to get all the Christmas stuff ready. And then I thought, hey, let's come do a live. We'll talk to everybody if anyone has any questions, or, just see how everyone's doing for Christmas. And that was kind of my day for the past 24 hours. So, Pico, I didn't see it, but that is no slight to John. It's just that I feel like I'm holding like 20 spinning plates right now. Den Decordipo says, "Oh yeah, Santa NORAD time. That's it. That's right. We'll get the kids to watch that today." Flip It Good says, "Hi Josh, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you, Flip It Good." welcome. Dave says, "Go home, laugh out loud." Dave, I've got for you guys. I hated rolling up here. I hate rolling up here. I know what time of year it is, but I got you guys some Empire cookies from the bakery. So come by and get them and bring them in, please. Dende Cordipo says, pronounced Mach Chunk here. Okay. Named for an Iroquois chief, I believe. Switzerland of the USA. They did call it the Switzerland of the USA. Very cool. Andy Reno says, as we meet again, good to see you, Andy. Welcome, welcome. David Varner says, hi, Josh. I got a question. How much does it cost to buy extra listings? I am currently at 1,000 listings and have to be careful about going over. At what point does it make sense to go up to the next level? Asked David. So, David, if you go up another level, that's giving you 3,000 listings per month, or every 30 days or 31 days, whatever it is. I would say it makes sense to go up from 1,000, because per listing, you're going to be cheaper. I would say it would make sense to go from 1,000 listings per month to 3,000 listings per month if you are getting those first 1,000 listings complete by the first third of the month. So if you can do 1,000 listings in like a week and a half, then I would say it's time to move to 3,000 listings, because if you can do it in a week and a half, you can definitely do it over a 4-week period. So that's, I think, when I would make the jump, is when you reasonably can move to that next level. The other option is if you're just 100 listings or 200 listings short, you can just buy the 100 or 200 listings to top yourself up. But for me, the jump comes when you're like, okay, this is really easy. I'm not even trying, and I'm going through my listings very quickly. If I take it up a level, I'll get the listings cheaper, and I can feasibly do it. Like, not maybe I can do it, but feasibly this is doable for me, and that's when I'm going to go up. That's what I would do. Pico says, it's on the Flippin' Ain't Easy Discord in general, Josh, as well. Yeah, I don't do Discord, Pico, Keith. I tried Discord a few years ago. I find it confusing and frustrating. I don't like that there are tons and tons of rooms and all this other stuff. So I don't, Discord is not for me. I'm not a Discord guy. I don't really go on Facebook ever. I'm not a big Instagram guy. Other than YouTube, that's pretty much my only social media outlet. So I have to also be mindful of my time is a big thing too, to make sure that I'm not spending too much time on social media for sure. But yeah, Discord is not my thing at all. Lead Belt Emporium says post office closes early today, so I'm headed there now. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, Lead Belt Emporium. Congrats on the sales. Get those things out. When does the post office close, everyone? What time does the post office close today? Does anybody have a time for me? Derek W. Pat. Hi, Josh and chat. Merry Christmas to you, Derek. Hope you and your family are doing well. Everyone is doing well. Derek says hi to Keith. It's going to be a busy one today and tomorrow. Is anybody going anywhere for Christmas? Anybody have any travel plans? It will be visiting family. Unfortunately, my family is in Holland right now. Unfortunately, my grandmother passed away, so they've gone there to the funeral. So there's my extended family or my immediate family is not around for Christmas. So it's mostly going to be spent at home. Um, Potentially, I don't even know what all the plans are. Potentially going to the in-laws. I don't really know. So that will that's kind of where we are with our Christmas plans. And then I want to take some time off. I'm going to go to Bonita Springs for a couple days just to go golfing and feel the heat and the warmth. I need a little period of break, even if it's only 2 or 3 days, so I can catch my breath, refresh, restart, and then move into this launch. So the launch for our e-commerce business or re-commerce business, whatever you want to call it, is on January 5th. So I'm taking the 3 days ahead of that. I'm just going to take it off, chill out, and relax. And then bang, we hit hard. We're going crazy. So, and it's going to be a busy spring and a busy summer, and we're here for it. Dave says, David, if you email support, we can reset your subscription so you can start with a fresh 1,000 listings without having to wait until the end of the month or upgrade if you don't want to. So, David, did you catch that? There you go. When you contact customer support in your profile page, that goes to Super Dave, and then Super Dave can reset your account. Perfect. So reach out to him, and take care of it that way. That's not something I can do. It's probably outside of my expertise anyway. So that's awesome. So great call there. Den Decor says it's closed at noon Eastern here. Lead belt, get the lead out. You better get there quick if it's closed in 10 minutes. Go, go, go. Although I don't know what time zone you're in. Andy says every local post office is different. You have to check mine closes 11:30 every day. Wow. Lilac Seller, good to see you again. It's been a while. Merry Christmas and happy holidays to you and your family. David says thank you to other David, Super Dave. Tammy says not going anywhere but to pick up my daughter. We're off to a rough start with sick people everywhere. It is going around really bad this year. So far I'm good, but my kids are fighting a bug. We'll still have a good holiday. I had it a while ago. I don't remember now. It's probably about 4 or 5 weeks ago. I got sick. And it went through. And I know that in the schools, the elementary schools here, like lots of kids missing school. My kids were sick. It was out of control. So I think it's going around. It's a bad year for it. Last year was an easy year for it. This year's a bad year for it. Derek W. Pat says, got rid of my monthly Chat GPT Plus account and switching over to List Easier for the first of the year. Crush it, Derek. Crush it. I use ChatGPT a lot for just general like business discussion. Like, what am I doing right? What am I doing wrong? And I use it to kind of have, like, when I make decisions, I want to make sure that the decisions that I'm making, I don't have blind spots in. So hopefully everyone can hear me okay here. I just want to make sure that my decisions don't have any blind spots. So a lot of times before I make a decision that's really, really important, I will ask ChatGPT, what are my blind spots here? And then it will go through it all. And I'm like, well, I didn't really think of that. That's a really good point. So that's what I use ChatGPT a lot for, is strategy, business, and then just really how I act as an operator within those things. So, and then of course some number crunching too, just to make sure that everything is on trajectory or where it should be. Keith says, so what do you sell there now that you have gone over to media? Keith, everything. It's going to be everything, literally. We just purchased $5 million worth of listed products. So again, this is listings. It's not what we paid for it, but it's what it's going to be listed for online, approximately, give or take. And that I'm not releasing what that is, but you'll see it go up. But we've purchased records, cassettes, CDs, cards. I don't know, you name it. If it fits within our business model, we're gonna we're buying it basically. And one of the things I saw the other day was Paul. So you all know Paul, Philly Flipper. He's a friend. Paul and Maria, congratulations, are engaged to be married. I think that's really, really awesome. I like her a lot. I don't know her, but I like her a lot because she seems to bring out the best in Paul, and that's awesome. So she's very there and supportive and a beautiful woman, and I'm just super happy for them both. And they posted a photo yesterday of them doing some list easier photos, like photos for List Easier. They were like on the couch watching a movie or watching a show, and that's what you want. That's awesome. So we've gone from the grind of like, we got to do this, to watching TV, doing your photos, and then 5 or 10 minutes before bed, doing your listings. That's a way better life. That's life. That's having quality time and just multitasking a few things, and it's not taking up your entire life. That's what life is all about. It's awesome. So my goal after seeing that was, my goal would be to have, I don't know, like 10,000 people watching this channel, and they were all doing something like that. Like building 6-figure businesses almost in their free time, which sounds like hyperbole, but I actually think it's believable because the process is that easy. So we're going to fully dedicate 4 days a week, maybe 5, we'll see how it goes, into this, launching this road to $100 million, which we think we can do over 9 years. If you just do a fraction of that, like a few hours a day, I really think with the way technology is, you'll be able to build a 6-figure business. I think, this is my opinion. I'm not saying that that's a guarantee, but it's my opinion in this next period because the technology has arrived so quickly and so few people have adapted it. So I think it's a real big opportunity. Roman says, Josh, I can't read Russian, Roman. I don't speak Russian. I'm Dutch. So whenever I send anything to you in Russian, I am translating it from English to Russian. I don't actually speak Russian. But says Josh, I have vodka on ice already. Oh my gosh. I'd be asleep. If I had a vodka right now, I'd pass out. Or throw it up. Or throw it up through my nose. I've never really drank hard alcohol. I don't know if I could do it. Dende Cordipo says, sorry about your grandmother taking mine to mass at 3 p.m. today. She's 87 and mentally sharp. Seeing and talking to her friends. My gift to her, hour drive to her home in parish. Or to her home parish, sorry. So are you in Louisiana? I always think of parishes as being in Louisiana. Yeah, my grandmother lived a very long life. I think she lived to be about 93 or 94. She was healthy for the most part right until the last month or so. So really, I think she squeezed as much as you can get out of life. So I look at a life well lived like that and think that's what I want. If I can get that much out of life, that's incredible. Josh, when is the company Christmas party? Merry Christmas, Merry almost Christmas, everyone, says Alex, the Beard King Picker. Merry Christmas to you, Beard King Picker. I hope you and your family, your growing family, are doing well this Christmas, and that you guys have some time to each other to celebrate and do all the things that create memories, especially for kids. Tammy says, is there anything you're not selling? Tammy, we're really looking at, a lot of it is the buy side. So we have to make sure that we're getting things in large quantity, that the unit price is low. So we are looking for items where someone has a ton of them, and for them, the unit economics don't work because they don't use List Easier. So let's say the item was worth $20 a piece, that might not be worth it to them. It sounds like it would be, but if you have 5 or 6 or 10 employees and they have to go through each piece, and the sell-through rate is long tail, so the inventory doesn't roll over for 3 to 5 years, it might not be worth it to them. We can crash our unit economics. So where it might cost them $5 an item to get these things listed and stored and everything else, we might be able to get those numbers down to pennies because of the artificial intelligence listing software. So really, we're looking for We have a bunch of things going on here, but we're looking for things that are tariff exempt, ideally. We're looking for things that fit into our photographing model and that are easy for Spencer the Oracle to process, and then also fit within our shelving so that we can maximize our shelving space and we have this easy picking and packing sort of process happening. So we're trying to satisfy all those conditions and then buy in quantity. Ideally, we're not buying 100, 200, 300 items here and there. We're getting truckloads where we can. There is, when you have the warehouse and you have an employee, now you're responsible for not only your own well-being, but everyone's well-being. And for us to keep this thing, the wheels greased, we got to have that inventory ahead. We don't ever want to be in a situation where we've run out of inventory and now we're panicking and we're making bad buys or we're buying things that we shouldn't be buying. So, but if anything fits in that model, to answer this question after me talking for 5 minutes, anything that fits in that model that we can get in quantity will probably do the deal as long as the unit economics work. Merry Christmas, Classic Phase to you. Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. Reseller Life Roman says, Josh is right. If you work 365 days a year without breaks, you can make at least 1 million rubles. It's definitely a time to enjoy. I wish there was snow on the ground. There isn't, which it was snowy. It was wintry here. And now it just got warm. It's like borderline t-shirt weather out of nowhere all of a sudden, but it's very nice because Roman, I'm telling you, in previous years, I've worked Christmas, and shout out to Tekken Sports. This technology didn't exist for him. And he has come on here, said it 1 million times. People would go home and the work still had to happen. So he worked Christmas, Christmas Eve, birthdays, Super Bowls, through storms. The old way, you didn't have a choice, and that model of thing is a grind and it's not for everyone. And I think that's why so few people could do it to scale. Now it's easy. It's easy. He saw it coming. He knew it too. He saw that coming. He knew it was going to become easy. He knew that the old way was over. I learned on the old way too, and I'm glad I did, but I'm also glad it's over because now I can just enjoy my day once I get my stuff done. And I can take tomorrow. I don't have to worry, and I can just go slow and spend time and enjoy, make some memories, as opposed to just frantically feeling like I'm always behind and working all the time. I don't want to do that anymore, and we don't have to, so we don't. Oh, parish is Catholic for her home church. Okay, I understand. I was raised in a Calvinist church, so but I did go to Catholic high school, and I still didn't know that. Tim Halcomb says, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to all. Tim, Happy New Year to you and Merry Christmas to you as well. I hope you ended the year with a bang. I know a lot of people have been saying that they have this number or goal that they want to achieve before December 31st rolls over. So I think there is a small group of people out there that want to get to a certain number of listings or a certain monetary goal or a certain listing goal. And I think there will be a small group of people that are going to really push hard next week to try and hit those numbers. So they're taking the time for Christmas, but 27, 28, 29, 26, and around there, I think you're going to see a crush. Like people are really going to push. Foghorn Lake says, Merry Christmas to all. Be safe and enjoy. Thank you, Foghorn. You too. Merry Christmas to you and your family. Be safe out there and enjoy your holiday. M. Cole says, do you think there will ever be an actual competitor to eBay? Whatnot sucks. Here is my opinion on this. For most e-commerce platforms, the margins are extremely low. So I think their margins are like below 3%. I don't know, but I would say like optimally that's the case. eBay's margins are much better, but there is so much time and money that has to go into the infrastructure of building an e-commerce company if you want to start from the ground up. There could be bigger companies that come in and try to do it, try to take market share and do the used goods thing, but there are so many layers for eBay with safety, compliance, security, fraud detection, shipping, banking. Like the layers are so deep that you would have to have very, very deep pockets to build anything substantial that would compete with them. Here's the other thing. Even if someone built something like eBay, they are going to face all the same scrutiny and everything else that eBay faces. All the same problems. They'll have to go through it all. And their margins might be lower because eBay's already built all this over the course of 30 years. Anyone new has to do it fast. So, as a business proposal, do you want to start your own eBay platform? You're probably going to look at 3% margins and 10 years of losing money to try and build the platform up to where eBay is, and then spend a ton of money trying to convince customers that the platform's safe and to come over and everything else. It's possible. It's possible. For me, I like eBay. I still love eBay. I've always loved eBay. I like the platform. I think things have changed, but I don't think it's a bad platform. There are things I don't like. I don't love promoted listings, but I kind of now live with it. I don't think, I think you can still make a ton of money on eBay. I just think it's changed how you got to do it now. So I don't know that there will be a competitor to eBay. Maybe it might be somebody might have deep enough pockets that they decide one day that, hey, I really want to get into controlling the market on used items. But eBay has a very strong position in that market, very strong. Pico Keith says, day off tomorrow to just spend time with the family and enjoy Christmas. Yes. Also got a first granddaughter on the way. Congratulations to you. So that will be interesting. And 2026 for me is fully work focused. Congratulations, Pico. Well done. That is awesome. Roman says, nice. Congratulating Keith as well. Foghorn Leg says, Whatnot seems to be race to the bottom and only a step above redonating stuff that just didn't sell elsewhere. I think with Whatnot, if you want to do exceptionally well, here's my thing. I got two things. If you really want to do well on Whatnot, it has to be entertaining. So you are not only just doing sales, you need to entertain. If you're boring, unless the stuff is really, really good, it would be more difficult to engage and captivate an audience unless that audience is there to get stuff for dirt cheap. But if it's fun and exciting and engaging and entertaining, you probably can do a lot better. This is where a lot of people say, well, if you're an influencer, you'll do well on Whatnot, because clearly the influencer has already built an audience and knows how to be entertaining and do all these things. My thing with Whatnot is the difficulty of it to scale. So if I want to sell more items, I've got to do more shows. I also don't love the idea of working all day, packing all night, and getting stuff out at 10 or 20% profit. Let's say 10% profit. When I know I can get 30% profit and operate at scale on eBay. For me, I would rather have a position like this where there's a warehouse that's organized, where we're capturing maximum value. And then, hey, yeah, 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, if things aren't moving the way we want them to, we can have that discussion of let's run it on Whatnot. But really, for us and for me, the goal is to scale. I want scaled operations that I can remove myself from. So I think Chris Daily Refinement does that. He just hires people to do the Whatnot shows. But, every day is kind of a gamble. Like, who's going to be watching? Who's going to be engaged? And I'm not knocking anyone's business model, but the numbers just really are good on eBay, especially if you use AI automation. When you use AI automation, it's so fast and easy. It feels like cheat code. Like you get to drive a Ferrari and everyone in the marathon and everyone's running the race. And they're like, it's so hard. We're at mile 10. We're almost there. We're halfway there. We can do it. And you're just like cruising by in a Ferrari. Like, why are you guys running? You can drive and win. So that to me is what makes me excited about eBay and why I'm like, okay, this is a super rare opportunity. People sell us huge loads of inventory because they look at it and they're like, I'm not spending 10 years to list this on eBay. So we'll buy it. And we're like, well, we can do it in a few weeks. Literally capture all that value. If they could do it in a few weeks, or they knew about the ability to do it in a few weeks, they would do it too. Not everybody, but most of them. So this has really changed the game, and we want to capture that. You just don't get opportunities like this. My working life has been since I was 15 years old, so about 30 years, and I've never seen the opportunity to build something to scale so quickly. Like to build something towards $100 million, which seems very feasible of listed product in 9 years. Never in my life if anybody were to say that to me, I'd be like, there's a 99% chance you're going to fail. This looks like, unless some outlier event happens, it's very, very doable. And in fact, it's more possible than not. It's more probable than not. When does that happen? When does it happen? Again, I'm thinking about Paul and Maria sitting there taking pictures and then putting those items up 10 minutes before bed and waking up to $1,000 of sales. When has that ever been possible? It's never been possible before. So I want to take advantage of it. I think it's a great opportunity and it's a moment in time. Keith says, I also have a young female. Oh, I didn't see the rest. It jumped. Where's this going? Oh, I also have a young female electronics engineering background starting at the warehouse, which will free me up loads. Yeah, then that's super important. That's super important. And also, I think that will help you with your productivity. Charlie Goki Lucoin says, hello and Merry Christmas to all. Merry Christmas to you, Charlie. Have a safe and happy holiday. Missy B says, Merry Christmas to all. Merry Christmas to you as well. Hope you and your family are doing well this holiday season. Roman Reseller Life says, 50 degrees in Cleveland. Here too. It's warm, man. That's warm. If you're from the Great Lakes region, that's warm. Rin Resale says, it seems like all your other team members have a cool nickname. They have to create one for you. Yeah. Someone said Jugglin' Josh. I have introduced myself as just Josh before. The double J is hard. It's a hard one. Foghorn Leg says, what is the conveyor belt equipment behind you? Okay, I got to keep talking to the microphone. This is a polybagger. So, as far as I understand, you run the items through the machine and it bags it for you automatically. That's a polybagging machine. That is an automatic box taper. So you put the box in there with the item and then it rolls it through and it tapes it for you and spits it out the other end, as far as I understand. There is you can't really see it here, but there is a paper scruncher here. That's what that machine is. And then this here is a computer station. That's where a lot of the beta testing and stuff happens. Shipping station, all that other stuff. Roman said, did you put all the Christmas presents under the tree already? Silly Santa does that. I don't do that. That's Santa. Swamp Picker says, hello, Josh. Merry Christmas to all. Merry Christmas to you, Swamp Picker, and your family. I hope you and your family, I know you have a large family. I hope you all have a wonderful Christmas together, if possible, and that you are safe and happy over the holidays. Roman says, live selling is not for everyone. You need to source for it specifically and have good sources to get inventory really cheap. Yeah. I would have no problem being in front of the camera doing it. Another thing for me is if I'm selling something, I personally really need to believe in the item. So the stereo views, for example, I love stereo views. I have a passion for them. I love the infrastructure built around them. So for me, I love that stuff. It's easy for me to sell. I love antiques because I believe in it. I love it. It's easy for me to sell. There is a lot of stuff when I first started my store, I didn't like it. Like I didn't like selling clothes and I didn't like selling shoes. It doesn't mean they're bad. It's just not my passion. So, I think it would have to go into my niche of things that I really liked and then I could do it. Then I could probably do it. But I just don't know that it's scalable to the same degree unless you filled the warehouse like this with talking heads who were just constantly doing shows and moving items, then yeah, maybe then that is scalable. Dan DeCordipo says, looks like we're going to hit just under 60% net dollar growth 24 to 2025. List Easier is part of the plan to run it back for another 60% growth. We grow six figures this year. We want to net six figures next year. I believe you can do it. I believe in you and I believe you can do it. Just remember, those are awesome numbers and List Easier is a great software and definitely helps you get there, but you still have to do the work. You're still doing the shipping, you're buying the items, you're running the software, you are taking the leap and using it. So 60% growth, awesome, but that's you. You're doing it. So congratulations. That's amazing. Foghorn Leg says, is that an Autobag 850S? It is an Autobag 550. 550. Autobag 550. Reseller Life Roman says, if eBay will allow everyone to live sell, that will be a game changer in my opinion. You may actually get value that you want for your items compared to Whatnot. Or have stuff that is high value that resellers can buy to resell themselves. I think eBay will, my personal opinion, and I don't know, Roman, I don't know. But my personal opinion is that when their AI recognition software gets good enough that it can recognize what's being shown in a live video, that's when they'll release it to everyone. I think they're concerned about liability. So we were talking about that and we saw that on Whatnot where people were selling things they weren't supposed to sell, like ammunition and these other things, and they got away with it. eBay doesn't want that. eBay doesn't want that. eBay, there's something unfair, I feel like, that happens with eBay. And I'm not knocking any other platform. I'm not knocking anyone. So when I say that about Whatnot, it's just something we saw. They don't want that either. Like, don't get me wrong. Nobody wants stuff like that happening on the platform, but eBay is under intense and constant scrutiny. Like they are under the watchful eye and everyone is, including lawmakers and regulators, with a fine-tooth comb looking through everything. Nothing slips through the cracks. They know that. They don't want the liability. They're aware of that. Every other platform will have to face the same scrutiny moving forward. And they won't slip through the cracks either. So I think eBay really wants to make it bulletproof that, hey, if we have scanning software and we can see when bad things happen, we can catch it immediately, shut that live auction down, ban the user, and move on. So right now, they only want trusted and invited members because they know they're not going to pull those kinds of stunts. So that's why I think not everybody has it. Nice. Lead Belt Emporium made it to the post office with an hour to spare. Nice. You're in Missouri, so about an hour south of St. Louis. 68 degrees here today and sporting a t-shirt and shorts on Christmas Eve. That's awesome. That's awesome. Well done. Now it's time to enjoy. Time to enjoy. Rin Resale says, the only problem is that sort of Whatnot's problem. Anyone can live sell and there's constant scams and cancellations when sellers don't like the price with no penalty. So there is that too. There are lots of things going on, like gambling, which is questionable. I don't know what the state-by-state auction license thing is. I don't really know. People canceling auctions, people shipping empty bags so that it looks like they got their shipping on time and then shipping something else later. Like all these things that happen, people are always looking for a way outside of the rules. This is not Whatnot's fault, but this is edge cases happening over and over and over again. And eBay's like, well, we've been down this road. We know what this looks like. We don't want the liability. eBay got sued for people selling some sort of regulator cheat for diesel trucks, and they got sued for it. So they don't want that liability, so they're very careful. Here's the other thing with regulation. Regulators will allow you to do something for a long period of time so that they can build a case. So if it's happening on the other platforms, like bad things that aren't supposed to happen, they might not be getting away with it. Somebody may be building this 3 or 4 year case and then just wallop them all at once. eBay is also aware of that. They have a very robust legal team, so their safety and compliance is very top of the line, in my opinion. Even for us building our software, we had to have that sort of discussion with eBay to make sure that we are following their safety and compliance guidelines, their security guidelines, and that under audit that we maintain that level of security, safety, and compliance. So even other platforms, I guess what I'm trying to say, the bottom line is, it doesn't mean that they're getting away with it necessarily. They might not be. Somebody might be building a case against them, and eBay doesn't want that. Yeah, exactly. Roman says that especially if it's only one person doing it, you will burn out doing all of this along with eBay and other platforms. You need another person to help for sure. You'll burn out. And you can do it hard for a little bit. And I found this with my eBay business, Roman, so I'm glad you brought this up. When I first started seeing people do this business, I'm coming from a construction background, tunneling, mining, rail infrastructure, where we'd have to do shifts that were 30 hours long. So if you, for example, a commuter rail line, so a train that brings commuters back and forth, we'll shut that line down for the weekend, but they need to use that train again on Monday morning. So we only have 30 hours to do the work. So we would just work 30 hours. So coming from that environment and seeing a lot of people on YouTube that were doing eBay saying, man, I've already worked 2 or 3 hours today. Like I just, stuff's behind them. I thought to myself, I can work all the time. I'll outwork them and I'll build my eBay business. And it worked to a certain degree. But I found that after about 3 years as a solo operator, as I scaled to a certain point, even I was running out of juice. Like I felt like not burnout, but this thought of what does this look like in 3 years? What else can I possibly do? I'm making good money, but not quite enough to hire anybody. I'm making good money, but not so much that I'm comfortable enough that I can do most of the things that I want to do in life. So where do I go from here? My processes were as good as they could be. I didn't know what else I could do. Like, where else can I go? So I don't want to be doing that on Whatnot. That's just basically what I was doing on eBay and then on Whatnot. With automation, it's a whole different ballgame. There's no way I ever would have been able to list 1,000 items in a day. Now I can do it in an hour. There's stuff that I had to research extensively, and the information is all there from a photo now. So I recall when I first started doing eBay, there were items that would take me half an hour to research. Now there's no research time. And the whole thing's changed. And because of this, and because it's early and not everyone has adopted it, I want to be part of it. I feel blessed that this opportunity has come along. Delanove says, hello, Josh. What's the system you use on List Easier to list your vinyl records in bulk when it comes to grading the vinyl? Thank you. We don't grade vinyl, Delanove. So when we build the templates, we just put everything is good. If the record looks like dog crap, we'll throw it out. We're like, okay, that record's obviously garbage, but everything we just say is good. Even if it's excellent, even if it is sealed, we say good. And then we leave it up to the viewer to or the buyer to, determine it. The thing with us is if a record is in good condition and it's worth $15, but in great condition it's worth $30, we're going to list it for the $15 and then pass that deal on to the buyer. So we don't let the software grade for us, and we don't grade each individual record. We just say everything is good. So basically, buyer beware. We think this is good condition. If you think it's better than that based on looking at it, if you can see that it's sealed, have at it. But we don't let it grade. It would take so much time and shine it under the light to see each and every little scratch. And then the other thing is, what I think is maybe near mint might be excellent to you. And then there's that whole thing. You said it was near mint, but it's actually excellent. So we just put everything is good. Swamp Picker's closing early for the day. Bye all. Merry Christmas to you and your family. Be safe. Have a great Christmas. And remember, there are people out there who are drinking and driving, so please keep yourself safe and be very mindful of that. Get home at the end of the night. And if you drink, don't drive, everyone, please. Merry Christmas, In It to Flip It. Merry Christmas to you and your family. I hope you are all doing well this holiday season. Talking heads are important, says Roman. Foghorn Leg says QVC style home shopping channel where different stages are live all at the same time. Yeah, and it works probably for quantity items too. I remember the home shopping channel where they would say, "Oh, this necklace," and people would watch it and be a beautiful woman wearing it, and they might get 100 people call in and they would all buy that necklace. For one-offs, man, it's a hard go. Keith says, well, I got to run. Just want to say Merry Christmas to Josh and family and everyone in chat. Have a great time with the loved ones. It's so important to catch you all. It's so important, and I will catch you all on the flip side. Pitco, be safe. Have a Merry Christmas. Have a good night, and enjoy your family. Lou says, Josh, eBay is going to buy list easier your golden parachute. I don't think they will. I really don't think they will. eBay doesn't really work like that. eBay will invest in companies that they are interested in, and this is how as the companies grow, their investments grow, and they may at that point, when it goes in the direction they want it to do a big buyout. But we, outside of the development of the software, that side of things, like how we develop, how we operate our safety and compliance, how we work with them in their APIs and all that other stuff, with their design team, we don't really have much of a dialogue beyond that. So it's all on the software level. Yeah, exactly, Roman. eBay doesn't want lawsuits to tarnish their image. Exactly, yeah. Josh will sell for trillions. I'm not seeing it, guys. I'm not seeing it. But eBay also has a bunch of sellers who are scammers, unfortunately. That's why there are a lot of angry eBay buyers. But to tell you the truth, the older I get and reselling on different platforms and doing all the reselling stuff, my memory has gotten bad. I'm starting to forget things which didn't happen before. Your point on scammers being on eBay, there will always be people out there trying to finesse things. But if you think about how many sellers there are and how complicated the platform is, eBay systems have become very robust to catch these people early on. So you always see it in the eBay community forums. I got suspended, MC011. There's almost always a reason. There are edge cases, but I think eBay's done a very good job with their authentication programs and their internal metrics and their internal systems to make sure that this kind of scamming and this and that doesn't happen anymore. It's come a long way. There are areas that need improvement, like Chinese antiques are difficult, very, very difficult. But I think they've come a long way, and I'm impressed for how complicated their systems are that they've come as far as they have. Delanove, thank you again. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Merry Christmas to you, Delanove. This is for you and your family, Dave. That's
Thank you. I've heard, that's why I know.
And there's a coffee there for you. Lisa Robertson on QVC was the best. Southern Vermont Vintage, hope everyone is well. Happy holidays. Stay safe for those fill those bellies and enjoy yourself. And with that being the last comment, everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. Merry Christmas to you all. I can't say it enough. Please be safe on the roads. Not everyone has a clear mind in the evening. If you're coming back from, people's houses or whatever, just watch. Be careful at every intersection. Get home safely. And if you drink, don't drive. Merry Christmas to you all. We'll see you